Dear Taurians, June 23, 2025, promises to be a pivotal day for your financial growth. Your ruling planet, Venus, in a favorable aspect, enhances your financial magnetism. Powerful Jupiter portends an expansion of income sources and good fortune, while disciplined Saturn demands a strategic approach to savings and long-term planning. This is a time to realize ambitious plans and solidify your achievements. Doors to new opportunities are opening before you, but success requires not only effort but also a readiness for completely unforeseen twists of destiny. We've already touched upon the immense financial potential unfolding for you, dear Taurians, on June 23, 2025, noting the influence of Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn. However, for a complete picture, and to maximize this exceptional period, we must delve into one of the most dynamic and, perhaps, unexpected aspects of this day, the unique conjunction of your ruling planet, Venus, with revolutionary Uranus, occurring precisely in your money sector. This astrological event doesn't just hint at change, it literally heralds an era of financial breakthroughs that may come in entirely unconventional ways. Venus, as you know, governs not only love and beauty but also your personal finances, values, and everything you accumulate and cherish. It bestows upon you an innate sense of comfort and stability. But when joined by Uranus, the planet of sudden insights, innovation, technological progress, and complete unpredictability, familiar boundaries expand to unprecedented horizons. In your case, this means money flow could surge from sources you never before considered, or through methods that seem too avant-garde. This conjunction is a true catalyst for financial freedom, but it demands a flexibility untypical for a Taurus. For a time, let go of excessive caution and the habit of clinging to the old. Uranus calls for bold experiments, for stepping beyond established business models and investment strategies. While your traditional methods of earning will undoubtedly remain stable, it is in the realm of innovation and new technologies that the most grandiose opportunities for instant and significant capital growth lie. Imagine Venus, your magnet for prosperity, now charged with Uranian energy, attracting not just money, but smart, fast money connected to the future. This could manifest as breakthroughs in digital assets, unexpected collaboration offers in startups utilizing cutting-edge technologies, or even the monetization of your unique, unconventional ideas that previously seemed like mere hobbies. Now is the time to pay attention to what's at the forefront of progress: artificial intelligence, blockchain, virtual reality, ecological technologies, anything that is changing the world and offering new ways of interaction and value exchange. The advice is simple, but its implementation requires a certain courage: be open. Be open to information that seems unfamiliar. Be open to people who think outside the box. Be open to opportunities that appear out of nowhere and demand a quick reaction. If you feel an inner impulse to explore a new online platform, to invest in a seemingly risky but promising digital project, or to develop your creative potential through innovative channels, do not ignore it. This could be the Uranian push that takes you to a qualitatively new level of financial well-being. Your task is not just to wait for luck, but to actively seek it in areas where the spirit of novelty and change reigns. This is where the keys to your success on this special day are hidden, and this is where you will find not just growth, but a true quantum leap in your financial development. So, dear Taurians, as the heavens literally open the gates to financial abundance through unconventional paths, a logical question arises: how exactly can you take advantage of this? How do you transform this powerful energy into tangible results? The answer lies in your readiness to adapt and act boldly, stepping beyond Taurus's usual conservatism. Venus, your ruler, in alliance with Uranus, encourages you to explore new horizons, especially in innovation and technology. This is not a call for reckless risk, but rather for a conscious search for opportunities where others see uncertainty. Consider investing in tech startups. This isn't about putting all your funds into one project, but about diversifying your portfolio with a focus on promising, yet undiscovered ideas in the aforementioned areas: AI, blockchain, sustainable, or virtual technologies. Explore crowdfunding platforms where you can be part of something new with small investments, yet with the potential for exponential growth. Your natural intuition, amplified by Venus's influence, will help you distinguish the wheat from the chaff. Furthermore, do not overlook the potential of online platforms for earning. The digital world offers countless opportunities to monetize your skills and talents. Freelancing, content creation, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, these are areas where Taurians can demonstrate persistence, attention to detail, and a commitment to quality. This can be either an additional income stream or a full-fledged business that scales thanks to your ability to create value and see things through. Look for niches where your aesthetics and practicality can be applied, be it design, culinary arts, crafts, or even consulting. And, of course, do not forget the power of developing your own creative projects. Taurus is a sign ruled by Venus, the planet of beauty, art, and harmony. Your innate inclination towards the beautiful and the creation of value can now become not just a hobby, but a full-fledged source of income. Use online platforms to sell your creations, teach others, or create unique content. This aspect of your personality, when properly directed, can bring not only financial reward but also deep satisfaction, which is equally important for a Taurus. Remember that the key to success during this period is a readiness for transformation and courage in making unconventional decisions. This is a time when your financial luck directly depends on your ability to see beyond the familiar horizon. And while one planet opens doors to new forms of income, another, no less powerful, prepares the ground for an even greater expansion of your financial influence, touching upon the areas of education and personal development. Dear Taurians, during this special period, when cosmic energies are directed towards your financial prosperity, we cannot ignore the colossal influence of Jupiter, the planet of great fortune and abundance, which is now in your sign. This is truly a gift from the heavens, enhancing your natural inclination to accumulate and multiply, but not just through routine efforts, but through a massive expansion of horizons. Jupiter in Taurus is not only about luck, although there will be plenty of it, it is, first and foremost, about strategic, conscious growth that relies on your inner resources and desire for stability. Such a position of Jupiter urges you not just to wait for a money flow, but to actively shape it by investing in what brings long-term value. And here, three key directions come to the forefront. The first is education. Remember how quickly the world is changing, as we discussed concerning Uranus's influence. New technologies, digital assets, artificial intelligence, all of this requires new knowledge. Jupiter in Taurus favors acquiring practical skills, deeply studying a chosen field that will allow you to become an indispensable specialist. This can be formal education, specialized courses, masterclasses, or even self-education through books and webinars. Investing in your intellect and expertise is the most reliable currency, immune to inflation and crises. The more you know and can do, the higher your value in the job market or in your own business. The second direction is investments in the broad sense. Jupiter expands opportunities for capital accumulation, but in Taurus, it prefers reliable, tangible assets. While previous aspects hinted at boldness concerning innovative startups, now the focus is on more fundamental investments. This could be real estate, land, precious metals, stocks of large, stable companies, or even investments in an existing, time-tested business. Venture projects are not excluded, but the approach to them must be as balanced as possible, with a deep analysis of prospects. The main thing is to see the potential for growth, while also feeling solid ground beneath your feet. It is important to diversify risks and not put all your eggs in one basket, even if Jupiter whispers of incredible luck. And finally, the third, but no less important direction, is the development of your personal brand. Taurus is a sign that values quality, reliability, and aesthetics. Jupiter in your sign enhances the magnetism of your personality, your uniqueness. Creating a strong, recognizable personal brand is not just a trend, it is a powerful financial tool. Your reputation, your expertise, your ability to convey your values to the world, all of this becomes your capital. Whether in professional activity, creative pursuits, or business, strive to become an authority in your niche. Share your knowledge, be open to collaboration, demonstrate your reliability and professionalism. The brighter and more convincing your personal brand, the more opportunities for income growth it will bring, attracting not only clients but also partners, investors, or even employers willing to pay more for your uniqueness. These three pillars, education, investments, and personal brand, form a strong foundation for your financial well-being. They allow you not only to catch luck but also to create it, step by step, multiplying your opportunities and assets. However, true abundance often comes not only through personal accumulation but also through expanding your sphere of influence, through interaction with the world that goes beyond purely mercantile interests. Taurians, remember, the most valuable asset you can acquire is not on the stock exchange or in a bank vault. It is yourself. June 23, 2025, is an ideal time to realize this principle and start acting. Jupiter in your sign unequivocally points to the importance of expanding personal horizons, and Uranus's influence pushes you to master what previously seemed unusual or even risky. Invest in yourself. This is not just a trendy phrase, it is the cornerstone of your future financial success. Consider courses that will help you acquire new, in-demand skills. Perhaps it's programming, mastering artificial intelligence tools, deep diving into data analytics, or developing competencies in digital marketing. The world is changing rapidly, and your ability to adapt, learn, and offer unique solutions will be your main competitive advantage. Do not limit yourself to traditional areas, explore niches where your natural talents and Taurus's perseverance can unfold in new ways, bringing not only satisfaction but also tangible income. This is also an excellent period to seek new income sources outside your usual routine. If your main job is stable, consider freelancing, creating your own online product or service, or monetizing a hobby. Perhaps you've long dreamed of writing a book, launching a training course, or creating unique handmade items. Now is the time to act. Don't be afraid to experiment with online platforms, crowdfunding, or even direct sales through social media. Flexibility and a willingness to master new digital tools will open doors you never knew existed. And one more important aspect, often underestimated but of colossal importance for expanding your influence and, consequently, financial opportunities, participation in charitable projects. By giving a part of your resources, time, knowledge, or funds, you not only do good but also create a powerful energy field. This is not about a direct return on investment, but about expanding your circle of acquaintances, building a positive image, and opening doors to new contacts. You will meet like-minded people, potential partners, mentors who can provide invaluable support in your endeavors. This is a unique networking opportunity that money can't buy. Your reputation and connections will become an invisible, yet extremely powerful asset capable of attracting new opportunities. All these steps, aimed at personal development, income diversification, and expanding social capital, lay a deep and solid foundation for your financial prosperity. However, for this foundation to withstand any challenges and allow you to confidently move towards long-term goals, another critically important element is needed: clear structuring and planning. While Venus and Uranus open doors to unexpected financial breakthroughs, and mighty Jupiter in your sign generously expands income horizons, there is another planetary force whose contribution to your financial stability on June 23, 2025, and beyond will be no less, and perhaps even more, fundamental. We are talking about Saturn, which is currently in dreamy and sometimes illusory Pisces. Its energy, strict and demanding, yet deeply compassionate, calls you to one of the most important tasks in managing your finances, structuring and long-term planning. Saturn in Pisces is a time when our innermost dreams and aspirations, often shrouded in a fog of uncertainty, must be brought into the light and subjected to disciplined refinement. In a financial context, this means it's time to stop merely dreaming of wealth and start methodically paving the way to it. This transit insistently requires you to bring order to seemingly chaotic flows of income and expenses, transforming them into a clearly managed system. For Taurians, who by nature value stability and material security, this is especially relevant. Saturn in Pisces helps you not only see your financial goals but also feel them, filtering them through the lens of intuition and a deep understanding of your own needs, and then, solidifying them with concrete, realistic plans. The primary task dictated by this aspect is to create a reliable financial safety net. This is not just a nest egg for a rainy day, but a conscious, disciplined strategy designed to ensure your peace of mind and confidence in the future, regardless of external circumstances. Saturn teaches us responsibility for our future, and having an inviolable reserve of funds is the cornerstone of this responsibility. Start by analyzing your monthly expenses and aim for your emergency fund to cover 3 to 6 months of your basic costs. This capital should be easily accessible, yet protected from impulsive spending. It serves as a reliable support during unforeseen circumstances, be it job loss, urgent medical treatment, or other force majeure situations. In addition to creating an emergency fund, Saturn in Pisces strongly recommends focusing on long-term investments. This is no place for hasty decisions or chasing fleeting profits that Venus with Uranus might hint at. On the contrary, it is a call for a patient, thoughtful approach, oriented towards capital accumulation over decades. Consider diversifying your investment portfolio. This may include traditional, reliable assets such as real estate, especially if it generates passive income, gold or other precious metals, as well as stocks of stable, large companies demonstrating consistent growth. Saturn values structure and fundamental soundness, so the choice should fall on time-tested instruments, not speculative risky ventures. For Taurians, whose connection to the earth and the material world is particularly strong, investments in real assets often prove to be the most comfortable and profitable. However, Saturn in Pisces can also hint at the value of investments that have a more subtle, but deep value, for example, in your own education, in developing skills that will bring future income, or even in projects with a social or environmental focus. This is not just about money. It's about creating a sustainable foundation that supports your values and ensures long-term prosperity. This period under Saturn's influence is an ideal time to sit down and outline your financial goals for the next 5, 10, and even 20 years. Don't be afraid to be ambitious, but remain realistic. Break down big goals into small, achievable steps. Determine how much you need to save monthly to reach your desired outcome, and which investment instruments are best suited for your strategy. Remember, discipline and consistency are the qualities that Saturn in Pisces cultivates especially strongly. It teaches us that true wealth is not only the amount of money in an account, but also the ability to manage it wisely, ensuring a stable and secure future for yourself and your loved ones. Dear Taurians, to fully utilize the favorable financial flows of June 23, 2025, you must not just wait for gifts of fate, but actively create a foundation for them. Your innate practicality and desire for stability will be powerful allies in this process. Start with the most basic step, creating a clear and realistic budget. This is not a restrictor, but rather a map that will show where your funds are leaking and where unused opportunities lie. Meticulously record all income and expenses, classify them. This will allow you to see the full picture and identify financial holes through which your resources are draining. Remember that every dollar you consciously control is a brick in the wall of your future prosperity. The next critically important step is aggressive debt repayment. Any credit obligations, especially those with high interest rates, are like an anchor holding your financial ship from full speed. Develop a strategy. Start with the most expensive debts, or use the snowball method, systematically closing smaller ones to free up energy and motivation. Freedom from debt burden is not just financial relief, it is a powerful energetic impulse that frees your mental and emotional energy for creation. Once the budget is established and debts are under control, move on to automating savings. Make saving a habit that doesn't require constant willpower. Set up automatic transfers of a small but regular amount from each income deposit to a separate savings account. This could be 5%, 10%, or even more. The main thing is that it is stable and happens without your direct involvement. Remember Saturn's call for disciplined wisdom. Building an emergency fund covering 3 to 6 months of your basic expenses is the cornerstone of your stability. This is your shield against unforeseen circumstances, which will allow you to feel protected and confident about tomorrow. Finally, with Jupiter expanding your horizons, it's time to consider investments in reliable assets. This is not a call for risky speculation, but rather for strategic capital placement in what possesses true, time-tested value. Consider real estate investment opportunities. This is a traditionally strong position for Taurians, providing a sense of tangibility and stability. Precious metals, such as gold and silver, also serve as excellent means of capital preservation in the long term. Stocks of stable, large companies, the so-called blue chips, can provide steady growth and dividend income. Your task is not to chase immediate gains, but to build a portfolio that will serve as a reliable foundation for your future, ensuring slow but steady growth. This methodical laying of the groundwork is not just about accumulating wealth, but about creating a legacy, a deeply rooted sense of security that will serve not only you but also those dear to your heart. Beyond the grand cosmic alignments promising Taurians sudden gains and strategic long-term benefits, June 23, 2025, will see a deeply nurturing and fundamental influence emerge in your financial landscape. We are talking about the Sun, our primary luminary, which during this period moves into the caring and family-oriented sign of Cancer. This is not merely a change of scenery in the celestial theater, it's a powerful energy shift aimed at strengthening your roots, your family, and your personal space. For you, representatives of earthy and stable Taurus, this aspect is especially significant, as Cancer, like you, values security, comfort, and everything related to home and heritage. When the Sun shines in Cancer, it illuminates the realm of real estate, making it exceptionally favorable for investments. This is an ideal time to consider acquiring a new home if you've long dreamed of it, or to expand existing properties. Perhaps you will discover attractive offers on the market, or circumstances will align so that you can profitably invest in land plots, commercial real estate, or even in the renovation and refurbishment of what already belongs to your family. The focus now shifts from pure speculation to long-term value, to what will serve you and your loved ones for decades, bringing not only material profit but also a deep sense of rootedness and security. This is not just buying square footage, it is an investment in your future, in your family hearth, which will generate stable income or preserve capital, strengthening your overall financial cushion. Furthermore, the Sun in Cancer's influence activates powerful potential for creating or developing a family business, as well as for strengthening existing family enterprises. Perhaps it's time to join forces with relatives to create something new, or to breathe new life into a business that has been passed down through generations. This could be launching a home-based production, developing a farm, opening a cozy cafe or boutique where every family member can contribute. Cancer's energy fosters an atmosphere of trust, mutual aid, and deep emotional connection, which is fundamental to any successful family venture. Your natural practicality, patience, and ability to see the long-term perspective perfectly align with Cancer's nurturing and protective energy, allowing you to build not just a business, but a legacy that will bear fruit for many generations. The main goal of this aspect is not just to multiply capital, but to strengthen your family's financial stability as a whole. This is a time when investments in family assets and joint projects will yield maximum returns, creating a solid financial base that will withstand any external fluctuations. Your efforts now should be directed towards making your family's foundation as reliable and prosperous as possible. This is a period when you can lay the groundwork for future prosperity not only for yourself but also for your children and grandchildren, using the intuition and wisdom that are especially heightened now. Consider how your financial decisions can contribute to strengthening family bonds and creating shared wealth. There are specific steps that will help you most effectively utilize these favorable influences and establish even closer financial interaction with your relatives. On June 23, 2025, dear Taurians, the stars particularly favor your desire for stability and accumulation, directing your gaze towards the most reliable and time-tested assets. Your natural inclination towards the tangible and enduring finds its ideal embodiment precisely in the realm of real estate. Under the patronage of the Sun, now in sensitive and caring Cancer, illuminating your sector of home, family, and roots, investments in land, square footage, or even in furnishing your own home become not just a profitable venture, but a deeply personal act of building a foundation for the future. Consider purchasing real estate not only for personal residence but also as a source of passive income. This could be a country house for rent, an apartment in a promising area, or even commercial space capable of generating a stable cash flow. The astrological energy of this day urges you to approach choices with the foresight and practicality inherent to Tauruses, carefully analyzing the market and growth potential. Investing in real estate during this period is not just a purchase, it's laying down a strong financial anchor that will keep you afloat through any storms and ensure prosperity for years to come. This same favorable planetary configuration brightly illuminates the potential for creating or developing a family business. Tauruses, with their unique capacity for persistence and material value creation, can achieve unprecedented heights in partnership with loved ones. Joint projects with family members, where everyone contributes their unique part and shares common values, can bring not only significant financial profit but also significantly strengthen family bonds, creating a legacy that will serve many generations. Look for common ground in interests, skills, and even shared family traditions that can be monetized. Perhaps you have a family craft, an old recipe, or a unique idea that will find support and resources among relatives. The key here is transparency, clear role distribution, and mutual respect for everyone's contribution. Equally significant today is the strengthening of financial ties with relatives in a broader sense. This isn't necessarily a direct joint venture, it could involve collective investments, exchanging valuable information about financial opportunities, or even mutual support that will turn into future benefits for you. Be open to dialogue about inheritance matters, joint funds, or strategic planning for the family's future well-being. The energy of Cancer, activating your money sector through the Sun, encourages you to view family not only as emotional support but also as a powerful financial resource capable of ensuring security and growth. Your task is not just to receive, but to actively participate in creating this shared, robust financial ecosystem. For these plans to materialize and for growth potential to be fully realized, it requires not only an internal readiness for stability and grounding, but also active interaction with the external world. You need to constantly exchange ideas, ask questions, and skillfully use information, as it is in the dynamics of communication and intelligent data handling that new horizons for your financial triumph lie. However, not only the beneficial aspects of Venus and Jupiter will determine your financial path on this significant day. On June 23, 2025, Mars, the planet of action, initiative, and assertiveness, will be in the mutable and intellectual sign of Gemini. For you, earthy Tauruses, this brings a powerful impulse to activate your communicative sphere, urging you to step outside the familiar and demonstrate flexibility. Your natural thoroughness and desire for stability must be complemented by the speed of thought and adaptability dictated by this transit. Financial success today will largely depend on your readiness to communicate actively, process information quickly, and use it to achieve your goals. Mars in Gemini demands not just passive accumulation of knowledge, but its active application. This is a time when your every word, every idea, and every contact can become a key to a new financial breakthrough. Study market trends, analyze competitors' actions, master new digital tools and platforms. Information is your new currency, and the ability to quickly find, analyze, and apply it will be your powerful competitive advantage. This is an ideal time for honing your persuasion and dialogue skills. Be ready to defend your point of view, propose your ideas and products with confidence and clarity, while remaining open to feedback. Develop your sales abilities, no matter if you are selling a specific product, a service, or yourself as a unique specialist. Your speech should be convincing, and your arguments undeniable. Practice presentations, participate in discussions, don't be afraid to express your thoughts publicly. Negotiation skills will become your powerful weapon in the fight for better terms, advantageous contracts, or promotions. Learn to listen, ask the right questions, identify hidden needs, and find compromises that will benefit you without infringing on the interests of the other party. Every conversation, every discussion, every exchange of opinions can become a bridge to a new financial source, the expansion of your network, or the strengthening of existing business ties. Active interaction with the external world, exchange of ideas, and demonstration of your unique offerings in various formats and on different platforms will be key to expanding your cash flow. We have already mentioned that June 23, 2025, for Tauruses, is not just a day, but a true catalyst for financial growth, requiring not only your internal readiness for change but also active external interaction. Venus, enhancing your money magnetism, and Jupiter, expanding horizons, urge you to step beyond the familiar and assert yourself in society. This is not a time for solitude, dear Tauruses, but for bold steps towards new opportunities. One of the most effective ways to activate these planetary energies is through targeted participation in business events. Conferences, seminars, professional exhibitions, industry forums, view them not as a routine obligation, but as fertile ground for sowing the seeds of your future success. Here, you will not only gain valuable knowledge but, equally importantly, establish key contacts. Your natural reliability and ability to build long-term relationships, enhanced by Jupiter's influence in your sign, will make you a desirable conversationalist. Don't be afraid to approach first, exchange business cards, and most importantly, genuinely be interested in what others are doing. Remember that every new acquaintance is a potential channel for future financial inflows or partnerships, which may come completely unexpectedly, as the conjunction of Venus with Uranus in your money sector portends. Simultaneously, Mars in Gemini, which actively stimulates your communicative sphere, strongly recommends honing sales and negotiation skills. This is not about manipulation, but about the mastery of persuasion, the ability to clearly and precisely convey the value of your services or products, as we have already mentioned. Invest time in studying effective communication techniques, practice the ability to listen and ask the right questions. Your task is not just to sell, but to understand another person's need and offer the best solution. This applies not only to direct sales but to any interaction where you represent yourself or your ideas. The more skillfully you wield words, the easier it will be for you to attract the necessary resources and conclude profitable deals. And, of course, in the age of digital technologies, it is impossible to ignore the power of social media. This is your personal megaphone, your storefront, and your tool for building a personal brand, as Jupiter in Taurus also hints. Use these platforms to promote your services, demonstrate expertise, and attract new audiences. Create quality content that reflects your uniqueness and professionalism. Share your knowledge, answer subscribers' questions, participate in discussions. Remember that in the online space, your reputation and recognition are as much an asset as any material resource. Innovative approaches to self-presentation, encouraged by Uranus, will help you stand out from the crowd and attract attention to your offers. Do not underestimate this channel. It can become a source of those unexpected incomes we spoke of, whether through new projects, partnerships, or even direct sales. Thus, your active involvement in the business world, mastery of words, and skillful use of digital tools create a powerful synergistic effect capable of elevating your income to a qualitatively new level. However, in this pursuit of perfection and maximum efficiency, an invisible barrier sometimes arises that can slow or even stop your progress. Tauruses, your innate drive for reliability, for flawlessness, for bringing every endeavor to perfection, is undoubtedly a powerful asset. This character trait, under normal circumstances, guarantees the quality and longevity of your projects. However, on this significant day, June 23, 2025, when celestial influences are so favorable to your financial growth, it is vital to realize that even the most valuable quality can turn into an obstacle if taken to an extreme. We are talking about perfectionism and excessive criticism in financial matters, which can stand in the way of abundance. You may find that your pursuit of the ideal, of an absolutely flawless plan or an impeccably perfect investment, begins to hinder real action. Excessive analysis, constant doubts, and the fear of making the slightest mistake can lead to what is known as analysis paralysis, where you miss profitable opportunities simply because you couldn't make a decision quickly enough. In the world of finance, where speed of reaction, adaptability, and willingness to take a small risk often play no less a role than precision in calculations, this can be critical. Do not let the search for the perfect solution postpone or even cancel the adoption of a good, but not flawless, one. Remember, sometimes, good enough is already great, especially when it comes to monetizing new, innovative ideas or quick deals, which the conjunction of Venus with Uranus promises. Your ability to move forward, even if the path doesn't look perfectly polished, will be rewarded. This same principle applies to your interactions with others, especially in the context of business partnerships or team management. Your tendency to control every detail to ensure the highest quality and adherence to your standards can hinder effective delegation and scaling. Ask yourself, are you not spending precious time and energy on tasks that others could perform, perhaps with a slightly lesser, but still acceptable, level of perfection? Are you not hindering the growth of your project or business by trying to do everything yourself and biting off more than you can chew? The universe urges you to trust. Trust your intuition, trust proven partners, specialists, employees. Free yourself from routine by delegating some responsibilities to those capable of performing them, even if not exactly as you would. Your unique strategic vision, your ability to generate new ideas and establish key connections, remember Mars in Gemini, are far more valuable than your involvement in every minor operational process. Delegation is not a sign of weakness, but a wise strategy that allows you to focus on tasks that no one else but you can accomplish. Especially now, with Jupiter in your sign opening broad horizons for expansion and Uranus pushing for innovation and unconventional income paths, it is critically important to learn to distinguish constructive analysis from self-destructive perfectionism. Make decisions based on sufficient information, but do not get stuck in an endless search for absolute truth. Your ability to take decisive, even if not always perfect, actions will be the key to activating the money flows we discussed earlier, whether it's a breakthrough at work, a win, or an unexpected inheritance. This is not about lowering standards, but about strategic optimization of efforts and resources aimed at maximum financial results. Your energy should be directed towards what is most important: growth and scaling, strategic thinking, not micromanagement. Thus, the key to fully unlocking the financial potential of June 23, 2025, lies not only in your external interaction with the world and active pursuit of opportunities, but also in internal transformation, in the readiness to release excessive control, trust the process, and focus on what truly matters.